Alright, we're rolling. Hello everybody, good evening. It's April 25th of 2023, and this is the latest installment of the series Dave Gets a Life, which is subjective, right? How's that going? It's going. It's a process that's moving, I guess, at the pace that it needs to move, which is not very quickly. But I had 3 psychotic breaks last year, and a major bout of depression, seasonal affective disorder. So that's that's sort of the complicating factor. Is like really got to watch and manage my mood and my mental state pretty carefully, and I've been getting into the micromanagement of dopamine and that kind of thing, and well, it's fascinating, some of the stuff I've learned, and I think I'm poised to make some important breakthroughs with some of the stuff I struggle with, but. It's my dopamine is either through the floor if I'm medicating, or it flying off the handlebars, and in neither case am I terribly functional. So I sort of got to stay in that middle range. Here's what I learned. I recently read the book Dopamine Nation by Dr. Anna Lembke. And I learned some interesting stuff. So there's like sort of what's called the seesaw in your brain, and on one side you have pain, and on the other side you have pleasure. Now, say you do a pleasurable activity that feeds your brain dopamine, it's going to tilt this way, right? And then your brain's trying to get back to level. It's trying to get back to level. So a bunch of gremlins, you can imagine a bunch of gremlins jump on the scale, on the pain end of the scale, in order to tip it back the other way, right? And then, so after succeeding at something or feeling good for a while, you're going to feel bad. You're going to feel bad, and the only thing to do is really just to wait until that balances out, or do some more dopaminergic activity and sort of tilt it the other way again. The longer it's tilted this way, the more gremlins jump on the scale, and the bigger the come down is. So that's the tricky part. And well, that's basically what I've just described as addiction, a progressive narrowing of things that give you pleasure. Eventually you have so many gremlins on the pain side of the scale that you need, constant dopamine hits just to feel level, just to feel normal. And I think with some people that balance can be broken or tilted way out of whack. I'm not quite sure what the case is for me. I know I have serious ups and downs with that kind of thing. But anyways, so the interesting thing, I guess, I've been reading about dopamine and how to manage it for a long time now, but it just sort of clicked with me when I understood that you can press on the pain side of the balance by doing something that sucks. I don't know, maybe you hate doing laundry, maybe you hate taking cold showers, whatever it is that, it should be an activity that feels meaningful, but if it's something that your brain interprets as painful, once it stops, you're going to get gremlins on the pleasure side of the scale. And that's why, that's why having a disciplined lifestyle, I guess, feels good, in spite of the fact that you're um, often doing things that maybe don't feel great in the moment. Your brain is wired to reward you for pursuing virtuous activities, basically, and for driving yourself progressively towards your goals, towards the things that there's a part of your brain that's always checking, like, am I on the right path? Am I making progress towards my goals? Now, the goals are set subjectively, so that's cool. Yeah, I would say you can set transcendent goals, very lofty goals, and make a little bit of progress towards them every day, and then you've got kind of a continual supply of dopamine going on. And that's sort of the idea with the growth mindset, right? It's this idea of yet. I'm not there yet, but I'm getting there. I can get there. And so I think that sort of sums up what I've learned about the dopamine system. But I've been struggling for a long time with this, well, call it procrastination or depression or lack of motivation, lack of discipline, I don't know, but I come up against this wall of like, I don't want to do that. It's just going to feel bad. That's been, well, I'm almost 50 years old, and I've been living my life sort of avoiding any kind of resistance as much as possible. And so my experiment is going to be sort of to, and I have been doing this. I reviewed some of my old videos, and I mean, this isn't new information to me, but it's sort of really clicking with me now that I'm realizing, hey, you know what? You gotta press up against. You gotta find the limit of your comfort zone and press up against it, and just go outside it a little bit, and that's gonna expand the comfort zone. As neuroplasticity sort of like adapts your brain to the new tasks. But really forcing yourself to do difficult things, forcing yourself to do things that suck is actually neurochemically rewarding, and sustainably so. Especially if, as you do it, if you can start releasing dopamine to this, to the effort process, I'm on the right path, this is for a greater purpose, then, since that sort of pushes back against the suckiness of doing it, and I guess there's, theoretically no limit to what you can achieve if you do that. So, but again, I don't want to wind up on a fast track to burnout and collapse, so I'm going to pace myself very carefully as I proceed to investigate this change of lifestyle, where I'm seeking out difficult things and doing them on purpose. Anyway, so I guess that's where I am right now. My foot's healing up nicely. My ankle was, I ripped my foot half off in February. I fell and really gunched the thing. So I was mostly indoors for 2 months in the heart of winter. I got a pretty bad case of cabin fever there, so that's why you haven't heard from me for a while. But there's no time like the present to get back on the horse. That's the one thing I know. So it's the present right now, and I'm making plans for tomorrow to get up and do some difficult shit that I don't want to do. and see how that feels at the end of the day. So the other thing I sort of want to comment on, I'm really starting to push weight loss. I've lost about 20 pounds since the start of February. I guess because I sort of panicked after gunching my foot and figured, oh geez, I better lose some. So it really embraced keto diet and started watching how much I was eating and stuff. I don't know how sustainable that's going to be in the long run, but I'm really experimenting with sort of edging hunger and intermittent fasting in particular. Learning that you can push through these ghrelin pulses, which I used to understand. Well, I need to understand that I've never been hungry a day in my life, and that what I'm feeling as hunger is not actually hunger, Anyways, so yeah, there's no time like the present to start a weight loss journey. So, but I'm taking the attitude of, I just want to eat and live healthy going forward as much as possible, and just take it a day at a time. I find planning ahead, planning my meals the day before, gives me some stability where I'd otherwise be making decisions on autopilot. And sticking to an intermittent fasting schedule and as close as possible to a ketosis diet. I guess that's my plan. So it's not always easy to avoid temptation, but that's a skill to practice too. All these things, all these excuses, all these difficulties I have, they're just skills that I can get better at with practice. I can practice pushing through hunger. I can practice mindful eating. I can practice making plans for my meals, and anyways, hopefully that's all going to snowball and result in a healthier, lighter version of me. We'll see. Anyways, I see I've been rambling for almost 15 minutes now, and I hope some of that was coherent. I'm just riffing off the top of my head here, but those are the sorts of things I'm thinking about coming into the spring of this year, and I'm looking forward to reviewing this video in a few months' time and seeing if I've been able to implement some of the changes I'm talking about here. So that's it for tonight, everybody. Namaste. Be the change you want to see in the world, and have a good day every day if you can. All right. Bye-bye.